welcome to my channel. Jules here from Joolsedesigns at JT Creations. So what we're doing was we're doing some little file folders. Now these three are a freebie on my coffee shop, and they're shaped like that, and you just fold them in half, and they come in three sizes. These little bits aren't there, but they're easy to do, and I will show you. So these come in 3 3/4, a 4-inch, and just in 4 3/8. So and you can cut one of these out and use it as a template for your other bits and pieces. And it's to go with my little coffee shop digital. And that one hasn't got anything to do with coffee shop. That has an old-fashioned coffee machine on. And that one has it has a florally coffee machine. And that one has a coffee pot. So I've done them. And what I did was I stitched them when they were open. I stitched them. That one I stuck, but I'd stitched down it. That one I didn't even glue it. I just stitched it up and down. This one I did from scratch, and I stitched round it and then stitched down the sides, and you can see I've done it really rough because that's how I wanted it, and I put a stamp on it. So what I've got is I've cut some bits of card out, not that one, but I've cut these bits of card out. I've cut 3 out, and they're 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. It's up to you. You don't have to have them that size. And what I want to do is I want to fold them in half. Now on here it's quite hard, but they're 6 1/4, so that means it's 3 7/8. And when I find my, so 6 1/4 is 3 7/8. And there you are. So I'm just going to fold them all in half. So what we'll do is we'll do one of the cream coloured cards. It's cream coloured card, and I think it's 160 GSM. And I'm just looking at that. I haven't done that very well. So when you're scoring on a board, make sure that it's butted up straight to the edge and the top. Now, one of the ways you can do these little file folder flaps is if you have an envelope board. And what I do is the middle, I put this end there. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it round, and I put that up to the point there, and just take it a little bit over, and I press it down, and then I've got that like that. And then what I want to do is I'm taking this end up to the 2 inches and pressing that there. So that's my flap. And I'm taking out a cutting board. And I'm just going to line it up. And what I want to do is I want to cut this one off. And hopefully, it's not very often I use these craft knives. And just do it. There we are. And what I've done is I've just cut that off. And then when we fold it up like that, you've got your little file folder. Now what I want to do is I want to this one. Now the last time I used this, it didn't stamp all that great. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my stamp board. And we'll put that there. Whoop. And that there. And I'm just pressing that down like that. Taking my stamp off. Placing it in the middle. And I'm just moving that over to the side like that so it doesn't interfere. Got a little bit of string. And this is a Tim Holtz stamp platform. And we'll put that on there. And there we have it on there, and it's in the perfect position for that. Now I don't want a black a total dark thing, so what I'm thinking of doing is going with the Distress Oxides. Let me have a look at that. So I'm going to go with frayed burlap. If frayed burlap doesn't work, I can change it because the stamp on the platform is still in the right position, and I'm just and we're just going to go over like that. And I'm just using this I got from Temu. See, it's not very good. And there we have it. Now this is a linen paper, so it won't look a perfect stamped image, and I'm not that bothered. I'm not really wanting it to be a perfect stamped image. I just want it to look quite stressed. And the one thing I can do is I can wipe that off. And this is another good reason for using these. I'm just going to put these back because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it with a Distress ink, a tea dye, but I'm only going to go around the edges, just the edges and no more. And I've just gone over like that, and you can see and we'll see what that looks like. And there, it's a little bit crisp around the edges, and that's fine. And if you wanted, you could do totally different colours. You know, if that's your thing. I sometimes like to do different colours. And when you've got a picture stamp, you can actually, you know, use your inks to colour your stamp in and then stamp over it. So I'm just wiping all that down, and I'm wiping my board down because I'm OCD like that. Sorry. But I am. And we'll take that off. And there we have it. Now, is that not cool? That looks cute, cute, cute. Now, what I want to do is I want to do around the edges. And I'm just swithering whether to go with a pink or a rusty hinge. I'll try a rusty hinge first. No, I won't actually. I'm going to go with the tea dye, the oxide tea dye. And I'm just... And it's going to mix with what's on there as well, so that's fine. And then put that up there like that. And then we can ink around all the edges. And I think I might go with a different colour to ink around the edges. But I think I'm going to add a little bit of rusty hinge. Now I've got the oxide. And again, I'm using the one that I do my brown with. Yeah, and I quite like that. Okay, and we'll put that back in there. Yep. I've got my... And then what I want to do is I want to round the corners. And I want to round this corner. And see, I can't do that one. So what I need to do then is I just need to just round it. And there we are. And then that kind of softens it down. When the edges are rounded, it does soften it down quite well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a tea dye around the edges, but I'm using the Distress ink. I like the tea dye. I like its orangey pale colour. And I'm just going to come in a little bit. And it just blends into the sides of the stamp. So we've got that. Now I'm not going to stitch any of these because I know not everybody has a sewing machine. Not everybody likes to stitch paper. So I've got those. I've stitched those. And I don't, if I do stitch anything, I don't do it on camera anyway. So what I'm wanting is, I'm wanting some stamp on here, and I think we'll just put that number on because I quite like that. And I'm going to do it in a little bit of a darker. The whole thing won't fit on, which is fine. And I'm going to go for walnut stain. And walnut stain is a little bit darker, and I'm not putting the whole stamp on. I'm just inked part of the stamp up, and there we are. And that's quite good. And then what we'll get is we'll get some secondary stamping around the edges. And there we are. And that's all you have to do. It's as easy as that. You can use paint, you can use brush markers, you can use anything. We'll just put them up out the way. And then what we do is we just stick down it. You can either stitch down it or you can stick down it. I'm going to actually stick it down. Got little bits of glue stuck in there. And there we are. And then what you can do is you can do some more little bits and pieces, and I think what we will is we will do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, these are just die cuts that I got from Temu, and I'll admit the Temu die cuts aren't the greatest, but I think that can happen with bought expensive dies as well. So you sometimes have to put like a paper shim on it. And there we are. And then I think we'll have a label, and I'm just going to cut this out, and I'm just going to put this slightly on the edge, and I'm just going to tuck it round, and that's stamped anyway. So and there we are, we have that one. So we'll let that dry before we put anything in it. And this one, now if you want to do you would want it probably, I'm going to use more, no I won't, I'll use this because not everybody has a clear ruler. And what I'm doing is I'm just drawing a line, a faint pencil line right the way through, and I'm just going to draw from that line up, like that, and I'm just going to cut this out. And there we are. Now if you want to curve those corners, if you've got one of these rulers, I'm just going to draw, it doesn't matter because it's going to go on this side anyway. And then we'll just rub this out. And just do around the, it doesn't really matter about the edges because you're going to ink around the edges anyway. Basically that's how you do that. And I mean you can cut them corners, I'm just going to cut them with this corner rounder. And there we have it. And because those corners are different, it doesn't make any difference. It just looks all part of the folder. And I think actually what I might do is I might do a little tiny bit of mixed media on this one. So I'm going to go with the oxide tea dye, and I'm just going to do the top. And then I'm going to go with scorched timber, which is a little bit darker. And then I'm going to go to vintage photo, and this is more of an orangey yellowy kind. The tea dye's like the pinky peachy. Okay, and what I want is I want some water splashes, and I'm just going to put some That wasn't very good, was it? And there we are, and I'm just looking for my dry. And this is a dry. So it gives it that distressed kind of look. And then that folds up like that. So we've got that one like that and that like that. So it looks kind of stressed out. And you can see where it's picked up a bit of the water, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. Just adds to it. And what I want to do is I want to do some stamping on here. I've got this one that says file notes there, and just put that on that one there. And I'm going with the VersaFine, the black onyx. Now this stamp is kind of, it's not a crisp stamp, and it's not meant to be. It makes it look as though it's a little bit stressed, which is fine by me. So what we're doing is we're putting this here. And there we are. So we've got file notes there. I'll just wipe that off. And then we've got like a little boxed one here. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to use this one because it's kind of faded and put some on the back. And I'm only pressing part of the stamp on. And there we have that. And then I'll do some around there. And there we have that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around with a dark, with a walnut stain. And that's that. And I think with this one we will do a little bit of the Alright, so what it was it was just little cut-offs I used. And I have got some in here where I've been cutting card. I think that's a bit too. So I'm not really measuring, I'm just looking to see what's right. And if you want the measurement, it's 1 1/4. And all I'm doing is I'm just going along that one as well. And I'm just going to cut myself another one. And fold that in half. And I'm just going to take the corners off. And give it a ink. And I think we'll give these a little bit of a And we'll go back over them. There we are. And how I did this was I used my crocodile and I used the smallest one, and I've got it set at 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. And if you want to measure, you know, if you really want to measure, just put that down there and do like a little line in where you would match it in. And there we are, that's where I'm going to put my hole, just where that line is. Just where that line is. And the same with this. This I didn't measure, all I did was I just made sure that it was in the middle. Because I didn't do the back, I just do I want a silver one on there? No, we'll go for the brass. And these are this is the 1/8 or 3 mil, the smallest one on the crocodile. If you don't have a crocodile, you can get eyelet setters. You need like a small hammer, but usually if you buy an eyelet setter kit, it usually has a smallish hammer in it. I bought one years ago when it was when scrapbooking was kind of, that's the only kind of equipment you could buy, tools, and that's when I bought this. I think it was Memory Keeper's first one. Now there I've made a mistake, so I can't get that out. I'm not going to be able to do anything with that, so I'm just going to have to fold it down the way it is, which is fine. So be careful what when you're doing this. And what I will do is I will stick that side down. And then we'll just bend this over. That looks all right. And it should have gone like that one. It didn't. And not to worry. And what I will do is I'll put like a little pin, not a little pin, a little clasp there. And we'll let that one dry. And do I want any? Don't think I want flowers on that one. I think I just want a label or something. That's about the red foxes. That. We'll put it there. Okay, and there we have that. Now I need to let that that one comes away there because it's only the side bit that's holding it, which is fine, but this one I've glued right down the side there. And again, I think I'll put my I'll use my board again, and I'll put my file folder flip in the middle. So this is, it's 4.25. So I'm going to do it 2 inches at, no, I can't do it 2 inches. I'm going to do it 1 3/4 at that side, and 1 3/4 at that side, but I can't. I'll do it at 1 1/2, 1 1/4. So it's not quite going to be in the middle, and it's only going to be a small one, which is fine. And take my, move that up. Take that one off there. And that one off there. And that's the side it's meant to be on. When you look at craft card, it has like a slightly, usually has a slightly glossy side, which is, or a smooth side. This is the smooth side, this is the rough side. It's up to you which one. And you'll find that sometimes they're slightly different colours. Okay. I'm going to go for vintage photo, and I'm just going to bring it in, and I'm just doing it round the top as well. There we are. It just makes the folder look a little bit more worn and old, as if it's been in a file for a long time. And the edges have got a little bit stained. And I think I want some, and this is the one I want, and I'm going to go with it down that little bit darker. And I should have wiped my stamp first, but I didn't. But it's black soot, so it's fine. And I'm just make it look as though it's been written on, and it's an old, and that'll do, that'll there. And I think I might go around it with black soot. And I think we'll have a little bit of book page on this one. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this down a little bit. And we're going to take this in here. And we're just going to, and okay, and then I think we'll have some little flowers. I think I've got a couple of these. We'll definitely have this one anyway. And I'm just dotting the ink on. And I'm just going to have it up like that. And this one's a little bit more whiter. These have been cut out of like coffee dyed scraps. And we'll just cut these bits off. And I'll have a label over the bottom of them. I think that's upside down, but that's the right way. There we are. And I'm just when you burnish down, make sure that anything that you burnish down over the tops, if it's been glued on, it's dry. Otherwise you'll... And then I just want a number stamp. And again, I'm just looking for my little... I've used it and it's stuck somewhere. There it is. So I want the 368, or do we want the number 25? And I'm just doing the edge of the stamp, so it's number 25. And there we are. And then we'll just stick that down. Again, if you want, you can stitch these. I know not everybody likes to stitch them. I do. Not everything, but I do like to stitch my projects down. And there we are. So we did 3. That one should have been, that side should have been like that. It moved when I was sticking it in, so I've stuck that side down and that on there. We did that one and we stuck that down and we did that one. Now I've got some... So we've got some postcards that you can pop in. These aren't, you know, meant to stay in here. We've got a library card there. In fact, what we'll do is we'll put that little tag there, and we'll put that library card there, and there we have it. So I hope you get something out of that. And as you know, and these are a freebie on my Ko-fi site. You can, you know, print them out on card, cut round them, or paper, and use it as a template. And there's 3 different sizes, so that it just makes it a little bit easier for you. And that one has Java file on, because with that freebie are some stickers and some library cards, so you've got your bits and pieces to go in. And these are the library cards. I've not cut them out yet, so you get them free as well. So again, hope you get something out of that, and I hope you'll have a go, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.